Hello, friend. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Angie. I'm so glad that you're here. Grab your coffee or whatever you're drinking today and let's chat. Last week, we talked a little bit about how failure isn't really failure. It's feedback. And you know what? Those tiny nudges, those little signals, those things don't work. We adjust. They don't just help us in the moment. They add up. They stack. They build. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about how small choices do the exact same thing. They build. My name is Angie. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Angie. I am a personal strategy coach. I support driven working moms to create rock solid systems at home. So dinner isn't a last minute scramble. Kids' logistics are not chaos, and self-care, it does not become an afterthought. So instead of guilt and exhaustion, you can finally feel present, energized, and control of the life that you are building while also taking time for yourself. If you are catching the live or if you're catching the replay, please say hi in the comments. I would love to know that you're here. Okay, so big change. It really doesn't usually come from these dramatic, I'm turning my whole life around moments, right? It comes from the tiniest decisions that we make on some random Tuesday that is just really stressful. And you know what? It comes from 1 degree shifts. 1 degree shifts that you repeat over and over, not these 180 degree shifts that you announce to the world. Most people probably don't even think or know that you've adjusted anything until you've been doing it for so long and they see the big impact that it's made on your life. But the problem is we often dismiss these small choices because they don't feel big enough. We say things like, well, that's not going to really make a huge difference, or that's not going to fix my stress, or doing it once is not going to change anything. But you know what? Doing it once gives you proof. Proof that you can start, proof that you can show up, proof that you can choose the smallest, tiniest next step, even when it feels heavy. And that proof, it adds up a lot faster than you think. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're overwhelmed with the morning. Kids are screaming, you're rushing around, they're rushing around. Breakfast, if that even happens, is chaos. And you're behind before the day even gets started, right? You don't have time to redesign a whole entire morning routine. You don't have the bandwidth to get up an extra hour earlier to get all these different things done. And you know what? You're just too exhausted to build a whole system overnight. But you do have 30 seconds. You do. And that's enough time to set out clothes the night before for the next morning. That's enough time to put breakfast dishes on the table, or plan on what you're going to have for breakfast the next morning. Or maybe you have even a little bit more time than 30 seconds and you make breakfast for the whole entire week on the weekend. Those 30 seconds, my friend, that's one tiny choice that you make and you repeat it over and over. It just allows the morning to feel more smooth. You start the day with a tiny bit more calm, right? And that tiny bit of calm eventually becomes a habit, which becomes a routine. And that routine, that builds your confidence. And here's the really cool part. That one step becomes easy. And then you add the next simple step. And that becomes easy. And then you add the next and the next and the next. And it's layer after layer of those tiny choices that are stacking, they're building, they're creating momentum. And before you know it, those small, tiny steps, they add up to big, lasting change. So if you're in a season where everything feels heavy or messy or chaotic, I want to remind you, you don't need to fix every single thing today. You just need to choose one small thing, something that will make your life even 1% easier, just 1%. Because that's how you get off the hamster wheel, my friend. One small, doable decision at a time. And if you're listening to this thinking, okay, Angie, I want that. I truly, truly do, but I don't even have an idea of where to start. Here's your simple step for today. Just put a heart in the comments below, and I will reach out to you privately and send you a small personalized step that you can take this week. Nothing big, nothing overwhelming, nothing dramatic, just one tiny choice that fits into your life. All right, my friend, thanks for joining me for Coffee Chat today. I'll see you next time.